Let's talk about some wins. We got the story from Newsweek by journalist Andy No.
Oh.
Prosecutors make first move to break up Antifa cell as 11 activists charged with violence. Now, this is not an opinion piece. This is a factual news report by Andy No for Newsweek. And the reason I'm emphasizing a factual news report by journalist Andy No is because Antifa and these extremists have tried their hardest to smear and besmirch his name simply for reporting on what they do. This is it. Newsweek is not some far-right publication or some conspiracy blog. Newsweek's actually fairly left-leaning. And here we have a factual news piece. You see, prosecutors are actually going after Antifa. They say, Andy writes, this week, the San Diego County District Attorney's Office charged 11 alleged Antifa members with felony conspiracy and felony assault charges, among other crimes, in a riot case where supporters of former President Donald Trump and random bystanders were beaten in Pacific Beach, California in January. 8 suspects were arraigned this week. They have all pleaded not guilty. There's videos of what happened. There are reports that there were minors who were simply walking down the street and Antifa decided to attack and pepper spray them. There was a guy who was apparently longboarding with his dog and they pepper spray this guy for no reason because they assume if you're there, you must be a Trump supporter. Oh, hey, I'm curious here. You know, I think we should be happy that finally we're seeing law enforcement go after Antifa. Right? Mm-hmm. This is finally, how long has it taken? But my concern is it too little too late? And is it just kind of a show, some appeasement? You know what I mean? Are they actually going to get serious across the board around the country and deal with this extremism?
Well, I want to know exactly what happened in this particular case before kind of espousing an opinion on it. But what brings me to think about, when I hear about this story was just a few months ago when Antifa was caught celebrating because their opponents were being arrested. They were celebrating when the FBI was going after Trump supporters. Yep. And my first comment on them celebrating it, it's only a matter of time until the state turns against you and starts arresting you. So I think this could be the first of that. I still don't know a lot of the details around this case, but do they have any charges against these individuals?
Yeah,
do
felony
we know
conspiracy and felony assault.
Yep.
Okay.
Among other crimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Do they know?
Let me see if I can come down. They come. Yeah. Okay. So we have, Samuel Ogden charged with felony conspiracy and assault. We've got Jesse Cannon, felony conspiracy, felony assault. So, basically they're all being charged similarly. And it's for trying to cause a great bodily harm to individuals. They're fundraising to try and try and deal with this. These people thought they were untouchable. They felt like that the cops couldn't do anything. Right. And you know what? For several years, that was the case.
Right.
Well, the cops weren't doing anything for a long time, and as we know, the cops and the feds have a lot of data. They're running huge dragnet information operations where they literally are flying drones over a lot of these protests. They know a lot more than they let on. So I would say that the federal authorities, the surveillance grids know almost everything. So to see this kind of turn when they were previously cheered on by many establishment institutions for doing these actions, to see them now face the ramifications of them shows a kind of very interesting turn. I mean, there could be just not enough right-wingers for them to go after for the petty crimes. So they're like, okay, we got to do something now.
We need to look useful quick.
After. Yeah, we got to do something to justify these overly huge budgets that we got. But it's going to be. I need to read more into this.
I wonder if this is actually because the midterms are coming up and the establishment Democrats know that this is a huge problem for them.
I do think also, though, the courts have proven to be the front lines lately, and it's been pretty fascinating to watch justice at work. You had, the Charlottesville stuff came up, and those white supremacist groups or whatever were fined like so much money, enough money to completely bankrupt them out of existence, which is kind of,
But they don't look
and you had Rittenhouse, that was proper justice. The Smollett trial,
the Charlottesville thing is interesting.
Trial.
Suing private citizens who have no money just doesn't do anything.
No, I mean, that's not effective, right? I mean, it's not going to be effective for that, but it is, an interesting thing to see that the courts are really on the front lines of this. If you look at the the biggest stories that we've had lately, they've all been trials. It's all been like waiting for a verdict,
Yeah.
And that's been pretty wild. The Supreme Court oral arguments have been heating up, the whole situation with the abortion laws. Courts are the front lines. It's interesting too, because once things hit the courts, that's really where that's really where you're going to start to see what's going to happen, like what the precedent is going to be, what the law is going to be.